Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Dunn again. We're talking about compound interest one more time. What we want to do in this screencast is we want to be able to calculate the effective annual yield or the annual percentage yield, sometimes called the APY. We also want to be able to calculate present value using the present value formula. So remember the compound interest formula, which we learned in the last screencast. Make sure you know what each of those variables stands for. And remember that monthly means 12 times a year, quarterly 4, semi-annually 2, and annually 1. Now what we're talking about here is the effective annual yield. The effective annual yield is sometimes called the annual percentage yield, or the APY. It is the simple interest rate that gives you the same amount of interest as a compound rate over the same amount of time. So for example, we're going to work through two different problems. One where we're finding out what the APY is for 3% compounded quarterly, and the other is 6% compounded monthly. So hopefully these two examples will help you with the problems you have to do in your assignments. So first of all, what I'm going to do is we're going to take this 3% compounded quarterly and put that into the formula. So when I put that into the formula, I have $1 invested at 3% compounded quarterly for 1 year. So that's n times t, and n is 4. So that ends up being $1 and approximately 0.03034 cents. Okay, so the amount that is earned in interest is 0.03034. Remember, we started with $1. So if I plug that back into the simple interest formula, you'll see that that interest rate is approximately 3.03%. So what that means is 3% compounded quarterly for 1 year is the same as 3.03% simple interest for 1 year. Okay, let's go through another example more slowly. My cursor was acting weird there. So if we have 6% compounded monthly, putting that into the formula, what changed is the interest rate is 0.06 and n is 12. Typing that into the calculator, you get 1.0617. Just in case, I'll plug this in here for you. But I showed this in the other screencast, but I'll do it again here. 0.06 divided by 12. Close the parenthesis. Remember, the caret button is how we raise it to a power, and I'm raising it to the n times t power. That would be 12 times 1, so that's 12. And that's where I got that figure. I rounded it to 4 places. So now what we do is we notice that the amount of interest we earned, was 0.0617. Putting that back into the simple interest formula, we learned that R is equal to 0.0617, and written as a percent, rounded to the nearest hundredth of a percent, we have 6.17%. So what that means is that 6% compounded monthly for 1 year is the same as 6.17% simple interest for 1 year. Okay, that was effective annual yield. Now what we're going to do is talk about present value. The present value formula looks like this. All the variables are the same. What's different is you are now solving for the present value instead of the accumulated amount. Let's look at an example. A young couple wants to they want to have $25,000 saved in 5 years for the down payment on a new house. How much should the couple invest now in a CD that pays 3.5% interest compounded monthly? I've identified the key values for you. The A is the amount we know. That's the future value. That's how much they want to have accumulated. P is the amount we don't know. How much do they have to invest right now? The interest rate is 0.035. The number of payments is 12 per year. I'm sorry, not the number of payments. The number of compounding periods is 12 per year. And the time is 5. So I'm going to put all that information into the formula. Let me show you how to do that on the calculator. So we're going to have $25,000 divided by, actually, I'm going to skip to the next screen so you see the actual numbers in the formula. But anyway, so it's 25,000 divided by, now I'm going to start a parenthesis in the denominator because I want the calculator to divide by what's going to be in the denominator. Now this is going to look a little bit different than what is on the screencast, so make sure you're paying attention here. So I'm starting a parenthesis for what's in the denominator. I'm going to start another parenthesis for this parenthesis. So I'm going to type 1 plus 0.035 divided by 12. Close that parenthesis and raise that to the 12 times 5 power. I'm going to type 60 here. That's 12 times 5. And what you want to do now, I'm going to use this arrow key to get out of the exponent. Close this parenthesis. Now it depends on what calculator you have. If you have an older calculator, it's going to look exactly like this, except you're going to have caret 60, close the parenthesis. On my calculator, if yours is like mine, it should look like this. And now we're going to press enter. And the amount that is in the account that they should invest at the beginning in order to have $25,000 in the account, the amount they should invest is $20,991.77. Okay, that's it. Good luck.